สวัสดีค่ะ Hello and welcome to You Too Can Learn Thai episode 16 How to use thaa if. Today let's try a new format by focusing on a specific grammar point and it's the word thaa which means if. I'm Nan, the host of this podcast. I love languages so much that I got a Ph.D. in linguistics and I taught Thai at University of London.I created You Too Can Learn Thai to help you improve your Thai language skills. You can find past episodes on our website, youtoocanlearnthai.com. You can also find sentences and translation at episode description wherever you listen to podcasts. Today, we are going to learn about the word thaa, if. But before we do that, do you still remember that we had 2 quizzes from episode 15?in which we talked about currency exchange. The first quiz is how much is 2,468,900 บาท One more time, how much is 2,468,900 บาท And the answer is 2,468,900 baht. 2468900 baht. The second quiz is in Thai. It says ถ้า1 ดอลลาร์แลกได้29 บาท400 ดอลลาร์จะแลกได้กี่บาท In the last episode we learned the word แลกได้แลกได้ which means can be exchanged to. And this sentence begins with thaa, if, the word that we will focus on in this episode. So, ถ้า1 ดอลลาร์ if $1 แลกได้29 บาท can be exchanged to 29 baht. And the next part is 400 ดอลลาร์ $400 จะแลกได้กี่บาท can be exchanged to how many baht. Therefore, we have 29 times 400 and the answer is 11,600 baht. 11,600 baht. And in Thai, we say 11,600 บาท11,600 บาท Did you get them right? Let me know if you like this kind of small games by writing to youtoocanlearnthai@gmail.com. And now let's learn the word thaa, if, focusing on its structures, interpretations, and more advanced usages. So first, the structure of thaa.Usually, sentences with thaa comes in 2 parts. The part which is a condition and the part which is a result. Let's use if you go then I'll go too as an example. The phrase for you go is คุณไป I go is ฉันไป or ผมไป and I go too is ฉันไปด้วย or ผมไปด้วย Here I'll use the female version ฉันไปด้วย then. So when we make a sentence, the structure of the condition part works the same way as in English. So if plus you go is ถ้า plus คุณไป if you go ถ้าคุณไป Now the result part. The result part can come in many forms, and one of them is to add a word ก็ as a linking word, functioning like the word then in English. For example, to make ฉันไปด้วย into a result of the thaa structure, we add ก็ and it becomes ฉันก็ไปด้วย ฉันก็ไปด้วย Now, one thing to pay attention to is that the word ก็ doesn't appear at the beginning of the result part. We don't say ก็ฉันไปด้วย Instead, it appears after the subject or topic of the result part. In this case, the topic is ฉัน I, so the structure becomes ฉันก็ไปด้วย The whole sentence is ถ้าคุณไปฉันก็ไปด้วย If you go, then I'll go too. One more time. It's ถ้าคุณไปฉันก็ไปด้วย So if you notice, previously I mentioned that the result part can come in many forms. This is also related to the ก็ part. So one possibility of the structure of the result part is to use ก็ as we heard in the previous example. ถ้าคุณไปฉันก็ไปด้วยถ้าคุณไปฉันก็ไปด้วย Another possibility is to use ก็จะ instead of ก็ In this case, the example becomes ถ้าคุณไปฉันก็จะไปด้วยถ้าคุณไปฉันก็จะไปด้วย And the third option is to use only จะ So the sentence becomes ถ้าคุณไปฉันจะไปด้วยถ้าคุณไปฉันจะไปด้วย And the fourth option is to use nothing at all. So the sentence can become ถ้าคุณไปฉันไปด้วยถ้าคุณไปฉันไปด้วย In these examples, all four forms are understandable and acceptable in terms of grammar. But why are there four of them? What's the difference between these forms? To be honest, I think they are very subtle, and even for us native speakers, it's pretty difficult for us to put into words. However, below are my 2 cents. So in the if you go, I'll go to example, I feel that the version that doesn't contain any linking words, the ถ้าคุณไปฉันไปด้วย version, is more likely to be used when the speaker is assertive. And maybe the assertive feeling comes from the fact that it's a concise and short form without any extra words, without any linking words. On the contrary, the ones with ก็ as a linking word sound more conditional to me, like they emphasize the fact that the result is based on the condition. These sentences are ถ้าคุณไปฉันก็ไปด้วย and ถ้าคุณไปฉันก็จะไปด้วย Then finally, the one with จะ as a linking word sounds less conditional and less emotional to me. And the sentence is ถ้าคุณไปฉันจะไปด้วย I think the distinction is not that definite, and these are the differences that I can think of at the moment. Definitely, it will be more helpful if linguists like us do more research in this area, so I'll keep an eye on the research and will give you an update once available. In the meantime, though, let's move on and study other aspects of ท่า For example, we can swap the position of the condition and the result to make the structure with a result plus ท่า plus condition. For example, you can put ฉันไปด้วย which is a result, before ถ้าคุณไป which is a condition, making it ฉันไปด้วยถ้าคุณไปฉันไปด้วยถ้าคุณไป or ฉันจะไปด้วยถ้าคุณไปฉันจะไปด้วยถ้าคุณไป However, I feel that this kind of structure is a bit less frequently used than the structure with ท่า at the beginning of the sentence. Also, please note that when you put the result first, it's quite unnatural to use ก็ such as ฉันก็ไปด้วยถ้าคุณไป or ฉันก็จะไปด้วยถ้าคุณไป These sentences sound a bit unnatural to me, and I think it's because ก็ emphasizes that the result is based on a condition. But in sentences where the result comes first, there is no background information in front of it, so we don't know which condition the word ก็ is linked to. Therefore, try not to use ก็ or ก็จะ when you put the result before the condition. Now, we come to a more advanced level of ท่า. So one thing about the ท่า structure is that sometimes the word ท่า itself doesn't appear in the sentence. Think of the sentence in English, no pain, no gain. We know that it means if there is no pain, then there is no gain. But the word if doesn't appear there, right? Similarly, in Thai, sometimes we can leave out the word ท่า. So in our previous example, you go, I go too. It can be contracted to คุณไปฉันไปด้วยคุณไปฉันไปด้วย And the context and rhythm of your speech will give a clue that คุณไป and ฉันไปด้วย have an if-then relationship. Finally, let's learn the words ถ้าเกิด and ถ้าเกิดว่า So we learned the word เกิด เกิด in episode 5 and it means to be born. But เกิด also means to happen. So ถ้าเกิด or ถ้าเกิดว่า means if something happens. And these two words are often used when the likelihood of something happening is quite low and quite unexpected. Also, they are often used in a question like, what if something happens? Now let's hear some examples of ถ้าเกิด and ถ้าเกิดว่า First, ถ้าเกิดว่าเขาไม่อยู่บ้านจะทำยังไงถ้าเกิดว่าเขาไม่อยู่บ้านจะทำยังไง If he's not at home, what will you do? So here we have เขาไม่อยู่บ้าน He's not at home as a condition and จะทำยังไง What will you do? What should we do as a result? So the context of this sentence can be like, you have a plan to visit someone at home and your friend asks you, if he happens not to be at home, what will you do? Or, what if he's not at home? Once again, the sentence is ถ้าเกิดว่าเขาไม่อยู่บ้านจะทำยังไงถ้าเกิดว่าเขาไม่อยู่บ้านจะทำยังไง Another example ถ้าเกิดเขากินเผ็ดไม่ได้จะทำยังไงถ้าเกิดเขากินเผ็ดไม่ได้จะทำยังไง If he cannot eat spicy food, what will you do? Here we have เขากินเผ็ดไม่ได้ He cannot eat spicy food as a condition. And the context of this sentence can be like, you are preparing some food for a guest and your friend sees that everything you cook is spicy. So your friend asks, what if he can't eat spicy food? Once again, the sentence is ถ้าเกิดเขากินเผ็ดไม่ได้จะทำยังไงถ้าเกิดเขากินเผ็ดไม่ได้จะทำยังไง Moreover, oftentimes the จะทำยังไง part can be omitted and we add the word ล่ะ at the end of the sentence to make it a question. For example, the sentence ถ้าเกิดเขากินเผ็ดไม่ได้จะทำยังไง becomes ถ้าเกิดเขากินเผ็ดไม่ได้ล่ะ What if he can't eat spicy food? ถ้าเกิดเขากินเผ็ดไม่ได้ล่ะ And the sentence ถ้าเกิดว่าเขาไม่อยู่บ้านจะทำยังไง will become ถ้าเกิดว่าเขาไม่อยู่บ้านล่ะ What if he's not at home ถ้าเกิดว่าเขาไม่อยู่บ้านล่ะ So before we wrap it up, let's summarize what we have learned about ถ้า First, the general structure of ถ้า is ถ้า plus condition plus result. You can also add some linking words in the result part, such as ก็จะ or ก็จะ But make sure to add them after a subject of the result part, like ถ้าคุณไปฉันก็จะไปด้วย Secondly, you can swap the position and mention the result first, but in this case, it's uncommon to use the linking words ก็ and ก็จะ Next, sometimes the word ถ้า can be omitted. For example, ถ้าคุณไปฉันก็จะไปด้วย can become คุณไปฉันไปด้วย The interpretation is based on the context and the way you deliver the sentence. And lastly, we have ถ้าเกิด or ถ้าเกิดว่า which means if some unlikely situation happens. It's often used in a question form of ถ้าเกิด something happens จะทำยังไง If this unlikely situation happens, what will you do? And you can shorten it to ถ้าเกิด something happens ล่ะ ถ้าเกิด something happens ล่ะ Thank you for listening to You Too Can Learn Thai. In the next episode, we will do some exercises on the word ท่า that we just learned today. So if you haven't bookmarked or subscribed to this show, please do so you can get an update about new episodes as soon as they are available. If you like this show, please let your friends know about it too. You can share us on social media. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/youtoocanlearnthai or Twitter at twitter.com/youtoocanlearn. And our website is youtoocanlearnthai.com. Did I mention that you can also contact me at youtoocanlearnthai@gmail.com. You can write to me to let me know what other topics you would like to hear. Until next time, สวัสดีค่ะ